Am I in the wrong for letting my wife kick out my cousins after their prank went too far and hurt her deeply? Posted by you/throwaway2817811. Yesterday, my cousins showed up at my house unexpectedly with their friends, 3 cousins and 7 of their friends. They didn't call ahead or ask if it was okay. They just showed up and said we should all spend the day together. I didn't want to be rude, so I let them in. We ended up cooking together, drinking, and having a good time. Honestly, it was more fun than I expected, but I should have realized that letting them in unannounced wasn't the best idea. I should have also anticipated that they might pull some kind of prank. It was April Fool's Day after all, but I wasn't thinking about that at the time. While I was drinking with the other guys, my wife suddenly appeared in front of me, visibly upset. She grabbed my arm and asked me if I was cheating on her. I was completely shocked and immediately told her that I've never cheated on her and never would. She demanded my phone and locked herself in our bedroom for almost half an hour to go through it. When she came out, she told me that if she ever found out I was being unfaithful, there would be serious consequences. She made it very clear that she wouldn't tolerate any betrayal in our marriage. It turned out that the women in the group had played a prank on her by telling her I was cheating. My wife is deeply religious, and marrying her was a huge milestone for me. She fought hard to make our relationship work despite challenges from her family. So this kind of accusation, even as a joke, was incredibly hurtful to her. After finding out it was a prank, my wife was furious. Even though my cousins and their friends tried to explain and apologize, she wasn't interested in hearing them out. She told them to leave our house immediately and said she didn't want them around us anymore. After they left, she reiterated how serious infidelity is to her and how much it hurt her to even think about it, even if it was just a prank. She reminded me again that she didn't marry me just to find herself in a situation where I could betray her trust like that. I reassured her repeatedly that I would never cheat on her and emphasized that it really was just a prank. However, she made it clear that she doesn't want anything to do with my cousins or their friend from now on. She said they crossed a line that can't be undone and doesn't want them near us again. I told her I understood and promised they wouldn't pull anything like this again, but also tried to calm her down by reminding her that she has access to my phone and knows all my passwords. Now, my cousins are upset with me for not standing up for them when my wife kicked them out. They think I should have explained the situation better instead of siding with her so quickly. They're calling both of us crazy and saying that I'm acting like my wife's slave. I told them their prank wasn't funny. It was cruel, and asked what exactly they were expecting to happen. Do they really think my wife would laugh at something like this? I also told them they're not welcome in my house for the foreseeable future because of how inappropriate their behavior was. Honestly, I'm confused about what they thought would happen here. Harmless pranks exist. This wasn't one of them. Am I in the wrong? Update, April 5th, 2025, 3 days later. I've been trying everything I can think of to convince my wife to forgive my cousins and move past this incident, but nothing is working. She still periodically checks my phone, even though I've reassured her countless times that there's nothing going on and there never will be. My cousins have also tried apologizing directly to her, but she refuses to hear them out or accept their apologies. My wife is extremely religious, which makes this situation even harder for her to process emotionally. She fought against significant opposition from her own family just to marry me, and now feels like this prank disrespected everything we've built together. When I asked her what I could do to help ease the tension or make things right between everyone involved, she told me very clearly that she doesn't want anything to do with my cousins anymore. She said they crossed a line with their prank and doesn't want them anywhere near us moving forward. She also warned me again about how seriously she takes infidelity, not just as an act, but even as a topic of discussion, and reiterated how much it hurt her to even entertain the idea because of their prank. I initially thought things would settle down after some time passed, but it's become clear now that this issue won't resolve itself easily, or maybe at all. My attempts at mediating between my wife and my cousins have only made things worse because she feels like I'm not taking her side strongly enough. At this point, she's told me outright that she'll handle things herself and want me to stay out of it entirely. Final update, April 9th, 2025, 4 days later. To summarize, my cousins pulled an April Fool's prank on my wife by falsely claiming I was cheating on her, and they went so far with it that defending them could cost me my marriage. I'm exhausted by the constant tension this has caused in our relationship. My wife still checks my phone regularly because part of her feels like she can't fully trust me anymore, even though I've done nothing wrong except let those idiots into our home in the first place. Initially, I defended them because they're family and deep down, I thought the prank would blow over eventually. But when I sat down with my wife again recently to discuss what she needs from me moving forward, it became clear how deeply hurt she is by their actions. She told me once again, very clearly, that she doesn't want anything to do with my cousins anymore and expects me to cut ties with them completely unless or until she decides otherwise. I finally told her that I'll cut ties with them entirely if that's what it takes to preserve our marriage, and promised not to communicate with them again unless she forgives them someday. This led to an emotional conversation where she reminded me of how much pain this prank caused her and how much effort it took for us to be together in the first place despite opposition from others. I comforted her as best as I could during this conversation and reassured her repeatedly of my love and commitment, promising once again that she won't see me with or near my cousins unless she approves of it first. Looking back now, I realize how wrong I was for trying so hard to mediate instead of prioritizing her feelings from the start. If cutting ties with my cousins is what's necessary to preserve our marriage, then so be it. I'll do whatever it takes because nothing is more important than keeping the woman who fought so hard for us in my life. Relevant comments. Melina Crazity. Honestly, you should have cut off your cousins the moment the prank happened. No joke is worth risking your marriage, and your wife's trust was shattered by their cruel actions. Sweet. Interview 5620. You're lucky your wife hasn't left you after defending your cousins for so long instead of standing by her side from day one.